Batman is finally cast. Swamp Thing is here, and we have a first-time guest on the show today on DC Movie News.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
You gotta leave it in there. It's a show of strength, solidarity.
My arm is so tired.
Mine too. This means I need to go to the gym more.
I could basically palm both of it.
Ready to? No. I'm trying to blow
Are you
it up,
saying
but
we
you
have
covered
tiny
it.
hands?
Compared to
Because
this
we
big-
do. No, we do. Look at my
compared to
pinky.
these,
I have
Okay.
the absolute smallest hands. Yes, that is right. Roxy Striar here today. I have the smallest hands in the world, like little babies.
Same.
But we are missing Jonny LoQuasto, Mike Kalinowski, and Adam Gertler. I do have incredible updates for you guys on where they are and what DC thoughts they are having this week. But before I get to that, returning guest of the show, you guys have asked for him over and over again, so we're gonna bring him in as much as he will come. It's Jay Washington in the house.
Thank
Jay.
you. I'm very happy to be here.
What is that?
Coming to America.
Oh,
Good movie.
I should have.
Coming to America when he jumps up.
That.
Yes, in the face.
Yes, in the face. Yeah,
But I'm always glad to be
Where's that
back.
reboot?
Huh?
Where's that reboot?
know.
It's not a reboot, it's a sequel, and it's coming out. They are actually in production of it, yes.
Oh, wow.
Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall are attached to it, so it is going to be great.
That's going to be
Nice.
lit. And a first-time guest of the show, somebody I've talked DC with on another show on Collider Live many times, but I want to get a little bit of background from your comic book knowledge, because you've got thoughts, girl. It's Evil Dorina in the house.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. So happy to be here for the first time. I love Roxy. I love Jay. This is great. And I love Batman and all of the comic books. So I'm very excited. I grew up with DC. That's like...
So how?
And X-Men.
I
but-
need window to your soul. So was Batman your guy,
Yes.
or how did you?
It was probably I used to read the Golden Age stuff, which was more kiddie. But then the Batman the animated series came along, and obviously Tim Burton's first Batman, and the Batman the animated series got me into reading more of the grown-up comic books. So I started getting into like the Frank Miller stuff and Alan Moore and all of the obviously the evil like darker stuff. And I just became such a big fan. Like, Batman's the one I relate to, man. Like, Superman's cool, Wonder Woman's cool, but Batman's my dude.
Probably because of your dark soul.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just understand the broodiness,
So in
because
other words,
life
at night
is
you
messed
put on
up.
the cape and cowl and you go out and beat the dog shit out of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't beat up people.
Not
I just pull
all the time.
She
Jay.
said, yeah, real quick, though. Did you not realize I should have catch us? And she was like, yeah. I don't.
I mean, I pull pranks something. Maybe I'm not Batman. Maybe I'm just like the prankster or something.
Well-
It's like the crappy version of the Joker.
It's perfect that we have you today, because obviously we have a lot of Batman
Yes.
stuff to talk about. And I can't wait to break it down, because if we had done this show any other day this week, we would have had completely different
Yeah.
Batman news.
Yeah.
But because we do this show on Friday, we've got legit news, and we
Yeah.
definitely are going to get to that. But I just wanted to give you guys at home a little update on all of the co-hosts first. So starting with Mike Kalinowski, just so everybody knows, Mike met Christopher Nolan this week.
Oh, crap.
He met him coming out of a movie, I believe, and he was flipping out on text, said he was the nicest guy. I just wish I could be a fly on the wall. So I said, Mike, can you record a video reaction of you meeting Christopher Nolan? And Ryan, our producer in the booth, did he seem to understand my text in any way, shape, or form?
Aww. I just got...
He was like, why would I? That would be so awkward. I can't
Yeah.
record with him. I was like, no, I just wanted to see how excited you were. So that was our first epic failure of what we tried to do. But something amazing that happened. We've been waiting all year for this moment for Adam Gertler. We'll talk more about this in TV time, but he is the biggest Swamp Thing fan I know, and he actually is covering it for AfterBuzz TV. It's on the Sci-Fi Channel, but we'll really, really break that down in TV time. But he, as a little teaser, is more excited than a kid in a candy shop the day after Christmas.
I cannot wait I'm so excited.
Oh, God, it is really good, and we'll give a review then. And then Johnny, if you were wondering what he's doing in Florida, he's still checking out the DC Movie News Twitter, DC Movie News Live, and he is finding all the trolls. He sent one of us today, somebody saying, I will not be tuning into a show that loves Robert Pattinson today. And I have a feeling we're going to have some mixed opinions across the board, so let's get right into it.
Oh, I didn't realize you guys loved him. I'm leaving.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. I'm
you're
kidding.
gonna get up and
No.
walk
No,
out
no, no.
now, huh? Awkward. Who leaves during a show? That
know,
would be
that's
such a
so
weird
weird, right?
thing to do.
Right,
That's
right in
really
front of the
weird.
camera too. You mean?
What a strange, awkward
mad.
thing.
It's like really, really weird.
So earlier this week, we heard that Pattinson and Nicholas Hoult were screen testing
Right.
for Batman. This is a rumor that's been going, and more than a rumor, this has been announced for a couple of weeks
Right.
that Pattinson seemed to be the number one that they wanted, but Nicholas
But not
Hoult was
confirmed.
quite behind him, and he was not confirmed. Then we heard they were screen testing from El Mayimbe. Humberto Gonzalez said this is what's happening, probably because they want to know costume-wise, lighting-wise, just visually.
Who's better at brooding? You know?
Who has the better brood?
Yeah.
Do you think they make them come in the room for like
really
30
hope so.
seconds?
Just
Brood for
look,
us.
just brood.
If I was a casting director, that's what I would do.
Oh, you would mess with them so
I'd
hard.
be like, you need to brood harder, man.
Brood harder.
Yeah.
You're not brooding enough.
What is wrong with you? The brood should come from the brow. Do it.
Wait, is that where it comes from?
Your brooding comes from your brow.
Let's see it. Well, you did a little nose flinch.
I did the
there.
nose. My bad. Hold on. Get
Are
the.
you, like, are you
you
doing
gotta get it.
Bewitched or what's
And the people on iTunes have all officially fast forwarded right now, just listening to Jay brood.
Just brood.
So I think that this was interesting because when it came out they were screen testing, it made it seem like Pattinson might actually not get the job.
Yeah, which is weird because at first when he was announced, I was like, oh, okay, like that's cool. Whatever, I'm sure he'll do fine. But then when they said, oh, he might not be it, I was a little disappointed. Even though I like Nicholas Hoult.
You didn't know how bad you wanted it until you
Yeah.
got
Like
it
2
when
weeks
yours.
ago, I was just on this show and they were like, Pattinson's the dude. And I was like, okay, cool. Fine. Everybody got to get past Twilight. The man has an other resume. Let's do that. Cool. Robert Pattinson's your Batman. We're moving forward. Now it's Robert Pattinson and Nicholas Hoult screen testing. You're like, hold the hell on. What is happening?
What's happening?
Like, wait, what? Why are they screen testing now? Because, wait, you just said it came out. It was Pattinson.
And then this morning, Friday morning, we are
Deadline
today,
drops it.
Friday, May 31st.
But Deadline drops it that Warner Brothers has approved Pattinson. And it's like, wait, what? I thought it was already done.
So let's speculate. What do you think happened here? Do you think that El Mayimbe was correct? They were screen testing and then they decided to go with Robert Pattinson? Do you think that that information was not correct, that they weren't screen testing? Do you think that this was a battle of the minds to try to get Pattinson to accept less creative ability or
Right.
money? What happened here?
I mean, I think it could be one of two options. Like maybe it's possible that this is older news, right? Like because Robert Pattinson did get interviewed at
You
for
almost
the
call him
Lighthouse.
Battinson now. Me too.
sorry.
I can't help it.
I was gonna do our bats,
Our
but I think
bats.
I'm liking Battinson. But the fact that he was being interviewed for the Lighthouse about Batman, and he was just saying, "I can't comment. I can't comment." Usually, when you're saying you can't talk about it,
means
you're
you're a
already
party.
in
Yeah.
negotiations. So I feel like it's possible he was already confirmed. And maybe Nicholas is, I don't know, maybe he's being screen tested for another role. Maybe he's a villain. Maybe he's doing something
And that's
else.
what people have said. Normally, if you're up for the main role and you don't get it and you screen test, they may throw you as a villain, depending on what your contract and your schedule is.
Especially when we're possibly going with a rogues gallery
Well,
where
yeah,
we have a lot of villains.
We're having a
We
lot
gotta
of
fill some
villains, so we
seats.
need to fill that up. But
And he's a great actor. I'm
he's
sure
a
he'd
great
do
actor.
really well as a villain.
But it's so weird. Like you said, when he says I can't comment, that means you're in there.
Yeah.
And clearly, what may have happened was this information started leaking too early. So
Before the ink was dry.
before the ink was like, it was done. It was pretty much a done deal. Like he was gonna be Batman, but it was like it leaked and it wasn't supposed to leak. So now you got the studio trying to play damage control and keep trying to make people guessing. Was saying, oh no, he's not official. We're gonna screen test with both. When it probably was they were already done. They screen tested a long time ago to see who it was, gave it to Pattinson, and now start dropping everything later to make it seem like this is just now happening in real time.
Does this make you feel bad for Nicholas Hoult in any way? Do you think that he had any idea his name was going to be leaked in these rumors
Right.
to start? Do you think...
I think because unless it's possible he's a huge Batman fan and he's very disappointed, but he's a great actor. He's going to get opportunities to do so many good things. He was so good in The Favorite. People didn't really like him as Beast. I thought he did fine. He did perfectly well. I actually would be really excited to see him as a DC villain. I hope that he gets.
I don't think he was hurt. It's just like, okay, I know I'm not going to get this, but if I get the opposite as one of the rogues, one of the top rogues, because he's not going to be Penguin. He's not, because when I Penguin, he won't be Penguin. He's too tall to be Penguin.
Speaking of speculation, the chat right now is going off on this. By the way, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Fridays on the Popcorn Talk YouTube. That's where you can find us live and join the chat. They're all in here saying Riddler.
Yeah.
He should be
that's who he is.
I heard about that, and that's actually kind of perfect.
But if you're going a noir type detective film, the Riddler is the perfect one. On top of Penguin and Catwoman, you do the Riddler. Nicholas Hoult can play the Riddler, and I have zero issue with that.
I also heard, I don't know if this is rumors or just what fan speculation, like maybe they'll do something
hard to tell these days.
Yeah, well, but there's two of my favorite comic books, Batman comics books that are like some of the most popular is the Hush storyline and then the Long Halloween. So any of those two would be super cool, and there's a bunch of villains in those.
But there's no way they're doing Hush right now, right?
Because aren't they doing
Probably
Hush
not.
animated?
Yeah.
They're doing
are
Hush
they?
animated,
Damn
yeah.
it. Well,
But that doesn't mean that
animated's
they
gonna be good
couldn't
anyways.
have won it at some point. But I don't think that. I think that right now they've got to. Penguin, Riddler, Joker, they're monopolizing on their more famous villains.
Well, this one is going to have
Catwoman.
six. They said
It's
this
not
was going to
my
have six.
preference, but-
Right.
This one's going to have 6 villains. So we already got 3 potentially in Catwoman, Penguin, and Riddler. So now that
But I
leaves
haven't
you.
heard Riddler officially. I heard Penguin and Catwoman.
I heard
haven't
those two,
heard
yeah.
Riddler officially.
But I think if you're doing a noir, you have to
agree.
you have to go the Edward Enigma route with that. If you're doing this noir, dark, he's got to solve crimes. How better to solve crimes than having to solve mysterious riddles?
Yep. Yeah, and it'd be nice to see a Riddler on the big screen. That's as much as I love Jim Carrey. It was obviously more meant to be more cartoonish and similar to the Batman '66 TV show. His performance in Batman Forever, but it'd be cool to see like a more creepy, darker Riddler,
Similar to what Corey Michael Scott has done in Gotham,
right?
Because his Riddler was
So good.
dope.
I agree. Were you Gotham all the way through?
I tried. I was through the last season halfway till they introduced Shane West as Bane, and I was like, I hate everybody involved in
No,
this.
it was so good. Come back. You only have a few.
Is it good now?
Well, it's still over now,
It's
but it
done.
was
No, I mean,
good
like,
before.
does it finish good?
Yeah, you made it 24 or 26 mile marathon, my friend.
Okay.
Just finish.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
finish.
Okay.
You got to
Fair
get
enough.
there.
Fair.
What do you guys think about the fact that Batman is supposed to shoot now in the fall in London? Does that make you feel like we're finally getting momentum? We got our Batman. We're moving forward. This is really happening? Or do you feel like now all of a sudden this seems a little rushed?
Well, I saw the movie release lineup and I think it's supposed to come out like mid 2021. Is that what? Is that what
2021.
the release? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting with these movies because there's so much that goes into post production. So, but you know what? I love Matt Reeves. I love what he did with the Apes trilogy. I think he's a great director. So I'm very excited to see what he's gonna do.
I think everything has been lined up.
Yeah.
It's just now we're going to start getting everything. All of a sudden, watch. We got the fact that it's going to shoot in London. We got who's Batman. We got potentially who's another villain. We're about to get who are other villains, who's Alfred or whatever else we're going to need. We're about to get all this stuff dropped maybe week after week.
How do you think it's going to get released?
They're gonna send actual press releases.
So
out.
not leaks anymore.
No, there's no more leaks. We're done because the biggest leak that was who is Batman.
Right.
So there's no more reason for leaks. It's just put it out.
And it
I wonder
seems like that kind of did leak.
Oh, it did.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Like
it
2
did.
weeks ago.
Yeah, but it leaked. And that's what I'm saying. They played damage
Slow
control.
leak, like
Yeah.
a gas leak.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna get
don't
we're
wanna
gonna
make
get
a dirty
everything.
Go ahead.
No. No. I also want to. I'm more interested in the plot. Like, I hope we get a little snippet or summary soon of what the storyline's going to
Well,
be.
they said it's a younger Batman. It's not year one directly, but it's him learning to become the world's greatest detective. He has a crime. He has crimes he's solving through his detective abilities, which we have not really seen.
So is it kind of like Man of Steel, where like Kal-El is learning who he is and becoming
Somewhat along that line.
What does the
Okay.
London part of it make you think?
Just the scenario, the scenery. Just the scenery. You want that
know.
brooding noir look. That's it for me.
Maybe we'll get Noir and Bond combined. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, that's all I'm really thinking is just the scenery. You're going to get a foggy night, especially your night shots are going to be amazing in London
Yeah,
and
that's
any
true.
part of the UK.
And maybe because he's young, maybe that's, does Alfred live around there? I don't know, because he's a younger Bruce Wayne. I don't know.
There's a lot of, I don't know, after everything you said,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Is it just
None of us know.
Yeah, we don't know. We're really we don't
Speculating.
know anything, you guys. We're just really excited.
Yeah, that is very, very true. And then guesses in the chat right now about why, if there's significance of London, keep on chiming in there, and I'll read some of those towards the end. But I want to move on to the kitchen because
Yes, that
this
looks
is a movie that we do not talk about enough on the show because it's not in our main
yep.
DC roster. However, I think that's about to change. The fact that we don't talk about it much because this trailer dropped and it knocked me off my feet.
It dropped out of nowhere during the finals too, by the way.
What was that?
It just came literally like you normally get advanced warning. Like you finna get a trailer sometimes.
You get a poster the day
You
before.
get something.
You get something on like Good Morning America.
All of a sudden, you're just watching the finals. They go to commercial. You're like, okay, Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish, Elizabeth Common, Al Pacino. Oh, The Kitchen. What?
Yeah.
Wait.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were making the Kitchen movie. Like I knew
No.
the comic book, but I had no idea. And then I see this trailer, and not only does it have a great cast, but it looks really good.
It looks amazing.
It looks like an old school like mafia, like Scorsese type.
It gave me Widows films. Like it felt like Widows almost. If you saw that,
I didn't love Widows. So
no, it's just
that's not-
the essence of the women taking over and running shop.
Yeah, that's true.
what I had that feel of. Like they're not taking any shit from anybody. They're making sure they do what they got to do. Their men are locked up and whatever, and they take on criminal elements.
Right.
So that's what I
agree.
felt with that.
I thought that they hit us over the head just enough because I like being hit over the head a little bit. I don't like being bashed over the
yeah,
head.
absolutely.
But with what it was, which is these women they have an arc. They went from not thinking they could do what the men could do to being like, wait a second, own your power, step it up. Why are we trying to hire people we have no money? We got burned in this situation hardcore. Let's do this together. And I thought that the trailer did such a great job with a property that's not as well known, explaining to the audiences, why should you care about this?
You know what's going to be the most interesting to me with this whole story is Tiffany Haddish. And because now we're seeing her in a completely different type of role in the previous movies, and knowing Tiffany personally as a stand-up, I've seen in all the comedic elements.
Did you know her back before?
I've been knowing all of Tiffany.
Really?
I've been knowing Tiffany for almost 10 years.
Do you think she can do this?
This is going to be interesting. I've seen Tiffany play serious when she snaps on somebody, but to see how she holds up again
So what you mean in real life?
in real life. Oh, yeah, I've seen
playing serious.
I mean
that's
like
being serious.
being serious, I'll say. But I know Tiffany personally, and to see her in this, like this will be able to show her range. Because we know what she can do comedically.
Well, and it's just cool to see not just her. I mean, Melissa McCarthy. I think for the bigger audiences or mass audiences that she's known as a comedic film actress. But I mean, if you guys saw "Can You Ever Forgive Me," like she clearly has the acting chops. For
She was unbelievable in
type
that.
of genre. So hopefully, Tiffany can do the same. It looked like she can handle
And
it.
she holds her own in this trailer.
In the
And Elizabeth Moss is Elizabeth. Everybody
okay.
knows The Handmaid's Tale. like.
However, can I say something not popular right now?
Sure.
I
Always.
love Elizabeth Moss in The Handmaid's Tale. I love that show. I think Elizabeth Moss is ridiculously talented. Once I learned she was a Scientologist, I can't unsee it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And so when I see her on screen, all I do is think about, especially when she's playing in Handmaid's Tale or in something like this that is so like women power, here we are. I just think about what are the conversations like on set?
I mean,
Like, are they all hanging out?
I don't think they do much as far as trying to get people in Scientology, except for bringing them books, is what I've heard. They give you a book and you're like, read this. Oh. Yeah.
Look, they tried to recruit me once I moved out here. They sent me. They invited me to the Celebrity Center. They bought me coffee, and I was like, my heart at the time.
Now you're on a list.
Man, they still email me and call me daily, but
But isn't it weird? Like, I still, the same thing with Tom
it's-
Cruise. It's not
I
that
was just about to say Tom
It's not
Cruise.
that I don't see their stuff or I don't watch them or think that they're so talented, but I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah. I mean, but that's like all religions. It's not just
she'd be like,
Scientology.
"Blessed be
It's
the
same
Thetans."
thing.
Oh.
Yeah. She was really good in Us and really creepy. So
Unbelievable.
Yes.
She's
maybe
so good. She's ridiculously talented. All three of these women are.
She actually, it's funny, out of, somebody was saying, what have we ever had a female Joker? And she was my second thought after Aubrey in
Aubrey Plaza?
Yeah, if you, I don't know if you guys saw Legion.
I've
course.
But
watched
she's so
Legion.
great.
I do
in
not
it.
think I'll be watching this season though after the finale of last
Oh,
year.
I love the show.
The
so
spin
much.
that they
I
doing.
loved it too.
The spin, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I
what you're talking about.
don't
We'll talk
know.
about that afterwards.
Yeah, that's not a DC movie
Anyway.
news topic. Let's move forward talking about something that I think we can all get behind. This New God screenplay we knew that Ava DuVernay was going to be working on, but now she's co-writing it with Tom King, who
Very
is a
exciting.
Batman writer. Yes, so you're into this?
Yeah, I love Tom King. I
Yeah.
think his latest run of Batman. I think that's why people were so sad to see him announce that he was going to be done with it. But I thought I really liked his last run. I think the whole Selena Bruce stuff was cool, and I usually don't like the romance stuff except for like Michelle Pfeiffer and Michael Keaton because But no, I'm super excited about this.
I love it for several reasons. One, it shows that Ava's not beyond saying, "Hey, I need to understand this world better." And who better than a comic book writer in Tom King, who also has created did a run on Mr. Miracle, one of the characters in the New Gods. So it's like this works out. The only thing I am a little bit concerned with, and I said this on Movie Talk, is can he separate writing the comic book to writing the screenplay?
Dialogue-wise, you mean?
Yeah, because there's a difference in making it, you can make something, when you write for a comic book, there's a way how things pop off a page. But writing for a movie to make your character, that's the only slight issue. Because
that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only slight, because it was like that with Jeff Johns and Green Lantern. Sorry about that.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's what Ava DuVernay is there for, though.
Yeah, exactly. You have both, right? You have both. You have the balance of a movie person and a comic person. I think you need those two worlds to mesh.
It's why I was so excited, and I'm still excited, but when initially Ben Affleck and Jeff Johns were going to be working on Batman together.
Yeah.
Because if you've got the person who knows movies incredibly well and how to make that work, and then you've got somebody who knows these characters incredibly well, and you merge them together and they're a good fit, because you have to imagine they'd probably got like drinks, coffee. I don't think we're just being like, you two randomly merge it together.
Oh,
Let's
no, there
make
was a
sure
lot of
it works.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely getting to know each other. So if they're vibing and she's got the movie part down and he's got the character part down, I think if he writes something cheesy and weird and like too not for screen, she'll be like, no.
Well, and the same thing with if she writes something and he's like, that's not what this character would do.
Right.
But also one of the big things behind that is, remember, Ava had Black Panther first before she gave it to Ryan Coogler. So her going into the foray of comic books, it makes a lot of people hesitant, because it's like, I get why she gave it away, because she was like, she didn't want to be able, they weren't going to let her do her vision of what Black Panther should be.
Right.
Fair enough. New Gods, she's gonna be able to do what she wants to do, but also there's the hesitation behind what Wrinkle in Time did at the box office.
Yeah.
Well, but you know what? I think it's hard when good directors, decent directors, have to do a big studio movie, because if you're making a movie with Disney or Marvel or Warner Brothers, like, you don't have as much creative control usually, right? So I usually am more forgiving when it's not when a big budget film is not that much of a success, because towards the writers and directors, because they don't have all that creative control.
No, and I get that, but also and we know that behind the scenes it goes way deeper.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it will fall solely on the director's shoulders. And Ava DuVernay is an amazing director. If you've seen Selma, if you've seen 13th, what she just dropped on Netflix, the documentary about Central Park 5, she's amazing at what she does. She can do this. Tom King is amazing at what he does in writing comic books. So the two of them together should be able to put out a phenomenal project with a bunch of characters where we're going to get an expansive universe.
It sounds like you're hesitantly excited.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Okay.
That's legit what I am.
Well, it makes me think of that announcement we got a while ago where Grant Morrison was going to help Ezra Miller write the Flash script. Like, I actually got super excited about that. I'm excited
What's
when
up
they
with
bring
that?
Comic Titans. I know, of course, it's probably not, but that I would love to watch that.
That's not happening, and we're gonna get a new Flash because his holding deal is up.
Okay.
So
well,
sad.
we will see. I don't know if this is happening because it's a rumor, but we're definitely going to discuss it right now. Let's talk about this Joker rumor that has been announced this week. This is coming from We Got This Covered. And they say, according to a source close to the production, there will be a major twist in the Joker that tells us that Arthur Fleck, whose real name is Happy Wayne, apparently, is actually the illegitimate son of Thomas Wayne, who had an affair several decades prior with a woman who was not, hit it, Ryan, it was not Yep, there we go.
Why did you say that name?
It was not Martha. This, of course, would mean that the Joker is the half-brother of Bruce Wayne. And
weird.
that in this continuity, at least, Batman and the Clown Prince of Crime are related.
So
There's no way this is
I got
true.
something on that. So when I was back on here 2 weeks ago, me, Adam Gertler, and Elena Jordan, we were talking about this because we've all heard it, but there is the twist, but that's not the twist. The twist is he's not Bruce's brother, he's Thomas's brother. He's Thomas's half brother.
What? But why?
So
why?
he's Bruce's uncle?
He's Bruce's uncle.
Why though?
Why
Why
do you
is
think
that
that?
necessary?
It's a twist they just want to add.
That's
They're-
But
dumb.
why do you think that's happening?
because it makes the story better. Because if you look at how
Did you hear a rumor?
No, we've heard a couple rumors about it.
Why do you think it makes it better?
Well, think about it. First of all, if he's Thomas's illegitimate son, Arthur Fleck looks old as hell. I understand he looks beat down.
I know, but
The same, that would be weird. That would be saying like Thomas had him at like 15.
But in what timeline? What
And I
timeline
underst-
are you working on?
And I understand this is an Elseworlds thing. I get this is an
Yeah.
Elseworlds thing. But I think the story goes a little bit better for me personally, having him be Thomas's illegitimate brother as opposed to Bruce's.
I don't think they should be tied at all. I think
no, I'm-
the reason the Joker is my favorite comic villain. I know he's overly popular now, but he's always been a force of nature. I don't think he has to be related to anybody for us to see the psychosis behind like what's going on in his head and like why he becomes this crazy chaotic person. I don't think it has anything to do with this is why I hate Batman. I don't know. I think it's dumb.
Tons of thoughts going on in the chat right now. Tons of thoughts. Kal-El fan says, damn, not liking Joker movie, which I think that most people were behind before. This might be making people upset.
I still am super excited. It looks amazing.
I'm still super excited as well because I think that this looks phenomenal. But in general, the chat does not seem to be particularly
I don't
into
blame,
this.
I don't blame people. I don't blame anybody. It's like, yo, this is dumb. Like it
Archie
should.
says this sounds awful.
No, I'm with anybody that's gonna see.
I agree,
if the
Archie.
twist is that he's related to the Waynes in any way, shape, form, or fashion, it's horrible. But remember, they're allowing Todd Phillips to do his own spin on this.
What do you
And
think
look,
about?
it's not. I wouldn't be pissed. Like if that's a twist, whatever. As long as the movie's good again, right?
Yeah,
Like,
agreed.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this? Josh says in the chat, I told y'all this wasn't the Joker. This is just a Joker.
Right.
Well, they did say it. It's not.
But then who's the Joker?
But again, it's Elseworlds. You gotta
Jared
remember.
Leto.
Oh, don't you ever? You know what? I'm gonna go and get up out of here and walk off this camera while I walk off this show.
What did we say about walking out of studio?
I'm gonna make sure the camera don't see me.
Just get a damaged tattoo on your forehead, and then we'll be fine.
Oh God. Oh goodness. I think that this, if you just go into this movie believing, okay, this is an Elseworlds movie, whatever they throw at me, as long as it's good, I don't care. You have to drop your baggage at the door for this one.
Yeah, and I mean that goes. I think that's the same for any comic book movie. Like we have the comic books there. I love the comic books. I'm okay seeing different adaptations for the films. Like it doesn't have. Not everything has to be canon as long as it's quality writing.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
all
this
I care about.
adaptation is coming from an adaptation as well, though.
Right.
This is coming from the Killing Jokes Joker.
Has that been confirmed though? Because I feel like
It's loosely connected to it's loosely based on that type of Joker we saw.
Because I feel like Heath Ledger kind of like read. I think Nolan and him went through the Killing Joke to like get into his character.
No, I get that, but the way they're doing this one,
Right.
the failed comedian and everything,
Right.
that is definitely what this Joker movie is.
Well, we'll see. I love the Killing Joke. I don't care if people don't. I love it.
I think people do.
Well, some
Oh,
do.
yeah, recently there's been backlash. Moving forward to talk about Man.
having sex on the rooftop.
Do it one more time. I liked it.
No,
There's no reason for them having sex on the rooftop.
Well, you're talking about the movie.
Yeah,
No,
the Killing
yeah,
Joke
that,
movie.
Talking about the
that
comedy.
half of the movie was bad. The other half was good.
Here's
Yeah.
something I didn't think we'd be talking about, but I guess we are. Man of Steel 2.
Yes!
But unfortunately,
Damn
we're
it.
not talking about in the future. We're talking about in the past because Polygon talked to Matthew Vaughn this week, and he revealed what his Man of Steel 2 initial ideas were. He said that the first film in the proposed trilogy was meant to take place entirely on Krypton and focus on Jor-El and the impending explosion of Krypton. Though the alien planet would still face destruction, Vaughn and Miller's take would have the event take place much later in the timeline, allowing Superman to grow up on his home planet and gradually become familiar with Earth maturing into an adult before having to reckon with his loyalty to both planets. What do you guys think about that part
Makes
of it?
no sense. And
Why?
I'm gonna tell you, because the whole purpose of him coming to Earth was because Krypton was blowing up.
Well, yeah.
Like
but,
it was imminently about to blow up. That was the reason, and he was
But
the
it is-
last son of Krypton.
I mean, yeah, but it is interesting to see him growing up differently, right? And then making it harder for him to make that choice of like, am I going to, if I grow up amongst humans, they're my people and I'm going to defend them from these aliens, even though the aliens are my people, right? Whereas if he grows up in Krypton, what does that do for his like moral choice? I think that is interesting.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too. He also was talking about how during his negotiations things didn't necessarily work out, but when asking about if he would ever return and maybe do a DC project, he said it'd be hard to say no. Do you think that there is still room for Matthew Vaughn in the DC universe?
I love Matthew Vaughn.
Does that mean yes?
Yes.
yeah, why wouldn't there be?
Give him.
And where are you putting him?
Green Lantern. Give him Green Lantern
That's a
Corps.
good one.
Give him Green Lantern Corps, since we keep hearing nothing about it.
Or give him Flash. I think he'd.
No, they got the directors for Flash.
Is it official?
But then they weren't, and then they are.
I think it's John Francis Daly and
Is
Jonathan
it still
Goss.
happening?
Yeah, they're the one,
Yeah.
they're attached.
So, supposedly they're the only ones attached
they're
at this point.
they're the writers and directors of it.
Unless Ezra Miller's the writer,
That's,
and just let that
Give
sit.
Grant Morrison everything.
Do you think that it is possible at all that Matthew Vaughn could still do a Man of Steel 2?
I would be happy if he did it. It'd be so different than the original. I'm one of the people that loves Man of Steel, but I'm totally fine with seeing something different. And Matthew Vaughn, I mean, Kick-Ass is great. It's one of the best comic book movies of all time.
yes, it is. And
Wow,
Kingsman
you
is
just
dope.
got a J fist
And
bump.
Kingsman is super dope. So
Yeah, it is.
let's just be real.
I like both Kingsmen.
And both Kingsmen are dope.
I
Yeah.
won't lie.
And X-Men First Class. I like
X-Men
that.
First Class, even though they switched the story around, it was well done.
was
So
a
we're a
good
table of Matthew Vaughn fans,
Yes.
to say the least. And I think we're probably also a table of David Sandberg fans because he did an amazing job and was talking about some possible alternate endings and openings. This was on Twitter because Shazam was released with a ton of deleted scenes in the Blu-ray. And I think that probably the worst way to get people to buy a Blu-ray is to tell them exactly what you tell them on the Blu-ray, but
No, well, I mean, when you put it out in words, it's one thing, I think, but people want to see it.
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, is
but
this
I'm-
already out? Or
Yeah,
is
it's
it
out.
going to be out?
No, I'm pretty sure it's already.
Damn.
I think it should be out.
I feel like
No, because I haven't got my digital yet.
I was
It
like, I
would
feel like
come
I just
first.
saw Shazam.
No,
Time
Ryan,
is
will
going
you
too
check for
fast.
us? When is Shazam coming out on Blu-ray and digital? Thank you so much. I'll read to you what he said on Twitter for now, though, because he was asked by a fan. Blu-ray back cover reveals that the film will still have an alternate opening and ending. Can you give us some details? And he said, in the original opening, an elevator takes Thad to the Rock of Eternity. We did the car crash instead to have a more dramatic opening to the film. Thad also sees a hologram with some Sin backstory similar to Billy. The alternate ending was a backup we shot in case the cameo at the end didn't work. The alternate had all the kids transform and fly off to stop a hostage situation. It always feels a bit uncomfortable, including deleted scenes. Not only were they cut for a reason, they're also always very rough too, since work was stopped on them. It's a little like giving a lecture if you're unclear in your underwear. Giving a lecture in your underwear. I figure it's worth it though, since some find it interesting. What do you guys think about all of this? Do you think that these are better alternate intros and outros? Are you happy that they're on the Blu-ray?
I like the car crash scene. I was actually super
I love the car
surprised.
crash.
Yeah,
Me too.
when that was really dark, especially for a family film. I loved it.
Pulled you
I'm
in,
so
right?
glad they did that. Yeah, it actually made you care about the kid. You
And
know?
then you see his dad, after he's thrown out the car, get away from me, basically. Like, it's your fault.
Yeah.
That is his dad tell him that. And in the end,
So messed up.
In the end, I actually was hoping that they all transformed again to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the cameo, we had been hearing about it, with the whole Superman thing. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, Henry Cavill's lower half looked great in this.
Man, his
I
whole,
was I
must be
actually
him,
got
right?
so excited. I thought they were going to show his face.
sorry.
I thought it just literally, it was like, no, we're giving
sad.
you Superman. We're not saying who's in the
In
suit,
the
though.
chat, Garth McMurray says the Blu-ray is out July 16th. Ryan, can you confirm? Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, but still, it's like that ending, the cameo, because they had teased it. when he said, if you do this, I'll have Superman bring lunch, blah, 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 blah. So it's like, okay, they set that up. But I would have loved to see the kids transform again, even after the final scene. Again, spoiler alert.
Yo, you're watching DC movie news. Come on.
I mean, some people be like, I still haven't seen it.
Some people's like, why did you tell me Rob Pattinson is Batman? God damn it.
Spoilers on
What
that
do you
one.
mean, Nicholas? Whole screen test.
I mean, if you, I am legitimately curious. If you are in the live chat right now, or if you're on iTunes, or if you're on YouTube later on, if you have not seen Shazam, I need you to comment that and say you have not seen Shazam, but you are a fan of DC movie news, because what a wild turn of events that would be. I don't think that we have hundreds of people watching live right now. I don't think that there is one of them in there who has not seen Shazam, but I could be wrong. You guys correct me if I am, which is actually a great segue into the fact that somebody in the DC universe has not seen Shazam, or any of the other DC movies. And that person, we will do our best not to shame him, but also totally have to shame him. Stephen Amell, y'all. He has not seen any of the new DCEU films. He said he liked the Nolan Batman trilogy. He hasn't seen Batman v Superman. He saw it on a plane, but that doesn't count. So I don't know, maybe he wasn't really watching. He hasn't seen any of the movies, actually. What did you guys make of this?
Like, I chalk it up to Stephen Amell having a very busy schedule.
Yeah.
That's literally what I chalk it up to.
And also, when you are completely involved in these types of, in a superhero world, maybe you want to break from superhero stuff and you want to watch other stuff. It's okay.
Let him watch The
It's
Bachelorette.
okay.
But you're a producer and
pick a better show.
You're a producer and star.
Well, let him watch Survivor.
God damn it.
Flavor of Love.
What is happening?
Rock of Love.
You want
You're the
Arrow
one
to watch Rock of Love.
Okay, let him watch How Far Is Tattoo Far on MTV. If you've not seen that show, it's
Roxy,
great.
you chose to invite us.
I did.
You
did.
made this
And you know
decision.
what? I'm not questioning it. I am not even questioning it. I think that this is so unlike him, though. He does all of these like Facebook live chats, and he is
Right.
very honest with his fans. But he's so invested in this universe, and I know that the TV universe and the movie, we're on different Earths. So that's fine. But it just feels so strange. He's so involved.
Right.
But it could be, I think, because he is that involved with the Arrowverse. He does, like, I can, again, on a plane, and he says, I really didn't watch it. That means he turned it on and just fell asleep.
But do you think he watches the shows?
Oh, he has to,
'cause
absolutely
the
Other
does.
than his, I mean, yeah.
Oh, he absolutely does.
At least gets recaps or reads the scripts or something. A lot of jokes in the chat right now about how he has failed this city, failed DC. It's pretty great,
By
guys.
not watching
Yeah.
the movies.
Also, do
I'm
you want
trying
him
not
watching?
to let this affect my opinion of him, because how?
Also,
How?
do
He
you
is the
want-
hero your streaming service deserves.
Do you want him watching Batman and thinking he could take some of those traits and bringing it to the Green Arrow?
Do you think he would think that?
Well, they're basically the same character.
Yeah, but can Batman do salmon ladders? Okay, then.
We don't know this now.
He can
Make
do
the
everything. He's
Batfleck
Do you think
can.
I meant Batfleck, yeah.
Batfleck can't do salmon ladder, but maybe Pattinson can do. This is really
I bet
happening.
Our
Pattinson
bets.
can do salmon ladders with his shirt off. Thank you, here for it. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Do you think he's going to sparkle? Kidding. Bad joke.
I thought it was great. I loved it. It was pretty good. Thanks, Ryan, for that.
It's Friday.
All
That's
right.
right.
It is Friday, and it is time for my favorite time of this episode. Yeah.
It's time for Roxy Striar's TV time. All the girls think Johnny's fine.
That's 'cause he
And
is
he's cooking, so they find
delicious.
Also Mikey, Christmas time.
For sure.
DC movie news, it's time to talk. TV time.
You dancing. I was dancing and you weren't.
Were you guys
I
doing
like
I
the
looked
song.
back up, and it looked like you guys were doing the chicken?
No, I went like this so he would dance.
That
trying
was
to-
your dance?
No, I was doing this. And I
She
was
was
like, dance,
dancing,
Jake,
and I was
dance.
just
I like
listening.
the song. It's
I
a
was
good
listening to
song.
Roxy's commentary
dope.
on the dudes. Like, he's delicious. I heard that when I was
No,
like,
his food is delicious. He's a sausage maker.
I get that, but you said he's delicious. You didn't say his food is delicious.
I didn't say it's delicious.
You just said he's delicious.
That Freudian slip then. 'Cause
Heyo.
honestly, all my co-hosts are delicious.
Aw.
They really, really are.
You're delicious,
Miss
Roxy.
you.
You're
guys.
delicious.
All right, let's get into this though. Harley Quinn coming this fall. This was an exciting announcement because we knew that this was coming. We just didn't know when. This was on Kaylee Coco's Instagram, and it was a picture of Harley, and maybe was microbladed onto her arm. Fall 2019.
So cool. Obviously love this. There is blood on the cartoon's shoulder arm. I am so excited. This is great.
Jay, how do you feel?
I love the fact they're going, again, it's the DC universe. They going all in. They don't care. They like, yo, we're allowed to do damn near whatever we want. We're going to.
How do you feel about her Harley voice so far?
I'm accepted because we all got so used to Tara Strong over the years.
Yeah.
And so we just have to get used to the new one.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard, but
She's doing her all, and
Yeah.
I'm super appreciative of everything, and I think it will be great. But for some reason, specifically with this character, I'm having a really hard time.
It's just such an iconic voice,
Yeah.
right?
That's exactly
and
what it is.
And I mean, we've had so many Batmans, right? We've had so many of these other characters, but with Harley, that's the one we know, right? So it's hard. But you got to make room for new generations.
But I didn't have a hard time with Margot Robbie. Maybe it's because we see it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a different type of performance.
And then we didn't
Yeah.
have one voice out of her. We had 4.
What do you mean?
She changed her voice like 4 times in Suicide Squad.
In a good way?
No, like it was
You
just.
did not like it.
It was just because it was like 1 minute, okay, you have this act, you have your regular accent, but then you have this Brooklyn, New York accent. The next you have this one. I'm like, can you pick one, please?
Well, she's crazy.
Yeah.
It was not even crazy. It was her being just.
What if she's British and she's just making cool American accents?
No, isn't she Aussie?
She's Australian.
Yeah.
No, but she's. I'm just saying.
Oh.
If she's British and doing cool American
No,
accents.
I mean Harley the character.
All right. Well, we don't know. We don't know, I guess.
Do we know where
Fine.
Harley Quinn is from?
New York.
Arkham Asylum. She's from Arkham.
Gotham.
Gotham. She's dead from Gotham. She's a Gothamite.
I'm sure people in the chat are going to have a field day with this one.
Well, she was created for the animated series. I
Yeah.
don't remember them saying in the animated series where she's from.
She's from Pudding Town.
Yeah,
From Puddinville.
it's Friday.
Yeah, it's
Pudding
Friday.
Anvil.
But we do know where Batwoman is from. And wherever it is, it feels more like where the Joker is from. What a strange thing to be talking about. The person whose name I'll give you in a second, Soper. What's her first name? Lisa Soper. She was talking to Inverse, and she's the production designer for the Batwoman show. And she says that the show is going to feel more like the Joker?
Right.
Her exact quote is, "I just watched the trailer for Joker, and Batwoman feels very much more in that realm tonally, as opposed to the Arrowverse." Jay, you seem
I'm gonna tell you why.
I don't know. This double goalpost fingers. I don't know whether this is good or
This
bad.
is good.
Okay.
I'm happy about Batwoman's look only because it is my city. It is the city of Chicago. When she is standing up on the roof, that is the Hancock Tower right behind her. And everything you see are like the bridges from freaking Michigan Avenue and everything. So it's Chicago. So for me, that's the number one thing. I'm like, they use the city at night. Chicago's so beautiful.
What do you
I'm
think?
very happy for you, Jay. I mean, I think it's weird to compare it to a movie that hasn't come out yet. But maybe that's a way to get people excited about something a little bit more different than the TV universe. So, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody
You mean the
says,
TV
I don't
show,
know if
not a
I,
movie.
yeah, sorry, I don't know if,
I was with you.
I don't know if I believe it, but it does get me interested in watching it.
Some comments from the chat right now. I'm bummed with you guys not being excited for Batwoman in here. Archie says Batwoman will be like Supergirl. I don't know what that means.
Oh, that is brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, you are just wrong for
Thunder
that.
God Cairo says, not excited for Batwoman at all. Angry Dick G. Well, you sound angry here because you say Batwoman looks straight up awful AF.
That's my
feel like
mom.
Angry Dick G.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding.
Hi, evil Angry Dick G. I think that it looks awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether I'm alone in this camp, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna watch it.
They're filming it in Chicago, but it's Gotham.
Well, Gotham. So
Gotham is Chicago now.
Yeah, Chicago was the setting for Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So it's the only issue I've had with the whole Batwoman series is we've already been introduced to her in the crossover, but this is her full exact story from the beginning. Like the crossover was her backdoor pilot,
Right.
but according to the trailer that we saw, we're gonna see from the moment she was in the military to when she stumbles upon the Batcave in Wayne Tower and all of this.
To deciding to wear that wig.
Yeah, to decide and all that. And that's the only issue for me. It's like, why do we need to go this far back? We can do flashbacks. I'm cool with it. But this whole story is going back to the beginning.
All right.
That's my biggest issue.
Why though?
Well, because it's like with the crossovers, anytime they've introduced new characters through their crossovers, the crossovers have been the backdoor pilots.
Right.
When it came to the Flash, we did see, we were getting teased little things that were happening in Arrow, and we saw him getting hit by the particle accelerator lightning.
Yeah.
But we moved forward. Instant. We didn't spend the whole season showing how he becomes the Flash. We move forward. Same with Legends.
I mean, I think in the case of most superheroes, like most of us do know the origin stories, right? So I do. I mean, it's funny because
There's super fans, but not everybody.
No, and that's true.
Well, but we don't like. Do you guys think we're going to see the Wayne murders in this new Batman movie?
If we see pearls drop to the floor, I am getting out.
I'll walk out. That'll walk out and walk me out because there's no reason we need to see Thomas and Martha Wayne get shot.
Who?
Martha.
Why did you say that name?
Yeah.
We do not need to see their murder. That's like we don't need to see Uncle Ben. There's certain murders and deaths. We get it. People have died.
Here's what we do need to see. Oh, go ahead. I feel like you had a good one coming. No, go ahead. What was it?
No,
what
I'm
was
done.
it? Get
It's
it out.
the moment is gone,
Passed.
Roxy.
Crap. I'm never good at knowing that. Here's what we need to see. It's Swamp Thing, everybody.
Yes.
Swampy Swamp Thing. So Adam Gertler is covering this for our sister network AfterBuzz TV, and guys, trust me, you're gonna want to go see his coverage because he is as excited as anybody's ever been. It's on the AfterBuzz TV Sci-Fi, Fantasy, and Superheroes channel. Make sure you watch. But I texted him about it just to see what he wanted me to share on this show. He has seen the first 2 episodes, and he just thinks it's absolutely amazing.
It's amazing.
And I'm in that camp as well.
I am too.
So, were you surprised as I was with how good this actually was?
No, not really, because it's Len Weissman and James Wan.
Yeah, but based on all the news that was coming out, like, Swamp Thing was cut, Swamp Thing actresses are tweeting out weird things.
I was surprised. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I love Swamp Thing. Like, I grew up as a huge Bernie Wrightson fan. I have his art on my wall. I'm when I heard about this, I was like, I don't know if it's. I mean, it's a hard thing to make. That's actually going to be. It's a hard thing to do well.
But if
just the way
I
of the
know,
look. And I've heard so many good things about it.
Yes.
Everybody's like, Drina, it's a horror show. It's amazing.
It's a horror,
I cannot
and it is
wait to
full
see this.
horror.
You're gonna love it.
And I was a
know
fan,
it.
and no matter how campy and cheesy they were at times, I was a fan of the movies back in the day. So, and I was a fan of the characters. So when they said they were bringing it to live action again, I was like, okay. Then because I've always gotten nervous when you say you're bringing characters like this to live action. Like, here we go with a CGI suit. And then they said, no, it's going to be practical. Then we started seeing the pictures. I was like, okay.
Right.
And then I saw the first episode. I was like, you damn right. And watched the second one. It was like, why do I have to wait a week for the next? I got to wait a little bit longer for the next one.
I'm just obsessed with how it's not goofy at all.
Right.
Not at all. Not
Just
at
like
all.
straight up serious horror.
From the beginning. From the very beginning.
I mean, the trailer looked like
And you're
that.
sitting there just thinking, how? And they're holding back a lot on specifically Swamp Thing's character. This is non-spoiler right now, so I don't want to say, but I felt like the first thing we were going to do was explore Swamp Thing, and we're exploring the universe. And it's a freaky town, and there's interpersonal relationships that are messed up, and there's this overarching threat that you're scared every scene everywhere you go, and it's a slow burn.
And in the second episode, you start getting introduced to more of the supporting characters who become his villains.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it builds, and again, back to what you were saying with them being cut, I do hate the fact it was cut from 13 to 10.
Right.
Because it's like, man, what could have those extra 3 episodes been? How better could the story have gone?
Do you think that cut was about WB announcing their new streaming service?
Absolutely it was. It finna absorb all the DC universe.
You think so? There will be no DC universe?
Why, if you're WB, it would only make sense to absorb it.
Then why start a DC universe?
Because at first they didn't think they were going to do a full streaming service. But then a certain other company was like, oh, we're doing one.
Who are you talking about?
A certain mouse was like, we're doing one. And it was like, well, we're going to pull all of remember all the Harry Potters got pulled and all these different things.
Darina, what do you think?
No, I mean, what about why they're actually doing the streaming service,
Yeah.
or what do you mean? I mean, I don't know, man. Like,
If they cut the episodes because of the WB streaming service.
I don't know. It could be something as simple as like people complaining about other superhero shows being too many episodes, right? Like sometimes you need a more concise story. Hopefully, it is because they wanted to do better quality writing, right? Because when I saw the trailer, this is as much as I think Doom Patrol is cool. This is the first trailer that I'm like, I want to sign up for the service.
Doom Patrol is dope at 15 episodes. It's the first TV show.
I would rather it be 13.
Really?
I loved Doom Patrol. I loved every episode, but I felt like there was a better place to go to season 2 after episode 13. But I loved it. Is probably my favorite show I've seen in the last year. Like, I
Okay.
loved Doom Patrol was weird.
The
as
most
crap.
hilariously disgusting line ever comes out of the season finale of "I want to spread you like the plague, Daddy." If you have seen the season finale, you will know exactly what I am talking about. That is an exact line from a character.
good.
I want to spread you like the plague, Daddy. And
Do
when
you think I should try
It's
to
a
use that
good
during my
Valentine.
next sexcapade?
Yes, you should.
I'm gonna make a Valentine's Day card for you.
Thank you. But
bringing
people
it
were
to-
shipping us in the chat. They call me and Mike Moxie, so now you and I will be Doxy, they said.
Perfect. I like it.
Something sounds scandalous about Doxy.
Jay's like so uncomfortable.
no, I'm not. I'm just like
Just here for
I'm
the ride.
I'm just here for the ride, baby.
We also had a new episode of iZombie. I'm loving this show, and it was definitely the best one of the season. The last two have been way stronger, but overall, this has been a weaker season for the show, and I can understand why this is going to be the last season because people aren't watching it.
yeah.
How many episodes is that per season, right?
It's gone from being 13 to 20 something to 13 to I can't keep
Yeah.
track anymore because they cut and then added and
Because they
cut
keep
and
thinking
added.
1 minute everybody will like the 22 episode season.
And then,
I just think
yeah.
shorter seasons make for better TV.
Also,
in
you know
general.
she was a Power Ranger at one point.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, she was.
Which one was she?
She was the Yellow Ranger, and I gotta remember which series.
Rose
it was.
McIver you're talking about?
Yep, she was a Power Ranger.
Wow.
And now,
right.
and now she eats brains.
And there we have it. She was a Power Ranger, and that's DC movie news for this week. Hopefully, we won't be reporting that Pattinson is still screen testing next week because you never frickin' know. But in the meantime,
He is
Jay,
actually condiment.
oh, he is Condiment Man. Yeah, that's true. Condiment King. Jay, where can I find you?
Twitter, Instagram at Mr. J Washington, YouTube.com/JAY Washington 80, and the Mad Titan podcast, where I get you caught up on everything happening in the Marvel and DC live action universes. I need Roxy to let me know her schedule because I've been wanting Roxy as a guest for the longest.
Just ask me if he's asked me, though.
I have not because I see Roxy
So
doing it.
how bad has he really wanted
But because
me?
I watch your schedule through Twitter and social
Yeah,
media.
it's
I'm
tough.
like,
It's
see.
a tough one, but I'll come. Dorina, where can everybody keep up with you?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at Evil Dorina, not on Facebook, and you can catch me with Roxy on some Collider shows. I will also be on Collider Movie Talk later today, and I have my own channel called Super Dork House, so please check that out.
You guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar. Don't forget to follow us at DC Movie News Live. It's at Mike Kalinowski. It's at Adam Gertler. It's at Jay Quasto,
Yeah.
who's not in Florida, but he's still part of the show very much. Thank you, Ryan, in the booth. We'll see you guys next time for DC Movie News.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.